said, Amy, Danick's been shot. You need to get there.
They probably got to the fitness center around midnight, and by almost 2 o'clock in the morning, she'd been shot multiple times.
I've had 7 different detectives.
This was somebody's daughter. This was a little baby's mother.
My heart is still in a lot of pain. I want some answers, and I want to know. I want to know. She was very, very, very friendly. Blonde hair, green eyes, really pretty. See how young I was?
The only thing Amy Adams has left to show of her daughter Danick is here in these photo books, in her memories.
I was only 16 when Danick was born.
Really, Amy and Danick grew up together.
It was more like friends instead of a mother-daughter.
Danick herself was a young mother at 17 as well, to Nevaeh, the light of her life.
We were super close. I just really miss her. I really miss her a lot.
It was summer 2008, August 15th, hot and humid. Danick and a friend were at Ultimate Fitness Center in Jacksonville. It was late at night.
Story has it they were tanning and putting on makeup.
But that story doesn't make sense to Amy.
I find that's really hard to believe. See, no makeup. She's a no makeup kind of girl.
Jacksonville Police cold case detective Cynthia Harbor.
They probably got to the fitness center around midnight, and by almost 2 o'clock in the morning, she'd been shot multiple times.
When the girls left, they were approached by a masked gunman who demanded purses, cell phones, money, and Danick's car, the white Cadillac. The gunman reportedly showed his face and then shot Danick multiple times, but not her friend.
What's your address? I don't know the address.
That friend called 911. The shooter took off in Danick's car.
I did not know how my life was going to go on without her.
Amy Adams fell into a well of unbearable and never-ending grief, while police went on the hunt for a killer.
He shot her. I don't know if he's dead, if I was running.
Back to that friend who called 911, Detective Harbor believes she knows more than she is saying.
If you had just shown your face to someone that you were going to murder, I don't think you would want to leave a witness.
We tracked down that friend, that witness who last saw Danick Adams alive. You know where she is? But we're told by a family member she would be gone for weeks. Police want to learn more from her.
Then, of course, you have the shooter.
After the shooting, something strange. A male driver behind the wheel of Danick's car drives back by the crime scene.
The female passenger stayed in the car, but the male driver fled. Why would someone who had just shot someone multiple times and steal that vehicle drive it back over in that area? So was that the shooter? Or had the shooter already traded that car off?
And police also discovered another person. That friend with Danick claims her cell phone was stolen that night. Police later found a man who'd been using it.
That individual said that he had purchased that cell phone for $5. So he may have purchased it from the shooter, or is he the shooter?
More questions than answers in a case unsolved.
It's hard to believe that someone would wait in the edge of the woods in the heat of the night wearing a ski mask, just hoping someone might show up at the Ultimate Fitness Center at 2 o'clock in the morning to work out.
This is the incident report.
For Amy Adams, she refuses to let this be the way her daughter's story ends, talking daily to Detective Harbour and keeping her own notes.
I want to get to the bottom of it, and I want some answers, and I want to know.
Detective Harbour does too.
This is Danick's case.
She keeps Danick's cold case file right next to her desk so she can see it every day.
The case, it's very solvable, somebody will talk. I'm going to dig until I hit cement.
She was a good mother, good sister. He was a smart little boy.
That's how Angela Alfaro remembers her sister Shaquilla Watts and nephew Zay'vion, both killed in their Hot Springs apartment.
It's not the same without him.
It was December 2020. After Shaquilla and Zay'vion missed a family funeral, Shaquilla's sisters got concerned and left the ceremony early to find them.
I noticed her car was still there, her wallet was still in her car, and right then I knew something was wrong.
Angela called police to come check it out. Hot Springs violent crimes detective Mark Fallis was one of the first to arrive.
We went over there and found Shaquilla, a 21-year-old female, and her 5-year-old son had been murdered in their home.
Police determined Shaquilla and Zay'vion had been dead for 2 days before they were found. Years later, there's still no one in custody.
She was shot to death, and he was shot to his head. A gunshot to his head. 5 years old. Who would do that? Retaliation, anger, jealous.
Family and police both hanging on the hope that their current leads can help solve the case.
I would not consider this a pure cold case. Pure cold case is one where there's no leads, there's nowhere to go. There is information slowly trickling in on this case.
A year after their death, police revealed that Shaquilla and Zay'vion likely knew their killer.
To kill a child takes something really personal, or just pure evil.
Prompting Angela to think over the people in her sister's life.
Her biological baby daddy, he recently just came back into her life to, I guess, spend time with his son, and the boyfriend, he'd been in her life, but they had issues.
But Detective Fallis says sometimes to solve cases like this, you need to take a step back.
If you only focus on the one person, you can miss the big picture. You can miss, you may miss the actual killer. I've learned not to follow people, but follow evidence. You've got to have the evidence to back up who did it to be able to get a conviction in court, and you don't want to jump to conclusions on the front end.
That evidence includes Shaquilla's cell phone, originally sent off to another agency where it took months to finally unlock the data on it.
See who all she was talking to and things around this time, and so, tracking those people down and talking to people like that as well.
But that's not the only lead police have.
We have DNA evidence, we have fingerprint evidence, as well as some other evidence that I can't really disclose right now.
Police believe the evidence they don't share with the public will help connect a suspect to the crime. All of this information leading police to search for answers far away from Hot Springs.
I've actually traveled out of state several different times on this case, just because that little piece of information will come in and be like, hey, we need to check this out.
The distance is just one of the reasons Detective Fallis says closing Shaquilla and Zay'vion's case is taking so long.
Do you think solving this case could help other cases?
Yes. If you believe it could solve other cases, you also have to take the time to look at other cases.
But the family wants more to be done, desperate for closure.
This is my family. It's not your family, it's my family. It's frustrating. The only thing we can do is pray for hope.
And detectives hope someone will call with information and bring them closer to justice.
There are people out here who know what happened. They know the players involved. They know who did it. We're talking about a 21-year-old and her 5-year-old son in their home. Just call me.
As a family lives on without their loved ones,
a 5-year-old baby, 21-year-old young girl, trying to be a mother, trying to go to school for herself, to raise and provide for her child. What did you get out doing it?
Searching for answers.
It's been 2 years now. I don't want the case to go cold. I'm still gonna fight to the end.
Searcy, Arkansas, 1994. 20-year-old Jarrod Green was just starting out in life.
He was always just so funny and just keep you laughing all the time. He was just so funny.
Yeah.
And such a good boy.
So
he
smart.
really was a good kid.
And doing what siblings do best.
Our bedrooms shared a wall, and I could hear him giggling in the other room or, aggravating me, listening to music too loud.
But Jarrod's mom and sister said he'd fallen in with the wrong crowd at school.
He'd had no idea what he was getting into, really. He just saw these other boys making that money.
We think he was probably transporting drugs.
As time went on, family says Jarrod wanted out, but couldn't.
Jarrod said that they would never let him pay them back, right? They'd never let him out of what he was trying to get out of.
Court documents show Jarrod owed $7,500 for drugs to a dealer.
He was really, really paranoid, and he told us that people were after him. He told us that he needed to get out of town, and we helped him. We, meaning my parents, helped him move out of the state.
A few weeks later, family says Jarrod got a call from a friend with good news. No one was looking for him anymore.
So he came home, and we were all relieved, thinking, oh yay, this horrible thing is over. He's back.
Until the night of September 30th, Jarrod had a meeting to settle his debt.
Another person that we've talked to said that he was actually crying because he was so scared to go meet with this person.
A friend told police that before the meeting, Jarrod made a stop, picking up his revolver.
There was something at some point between Jarrod and this person that scared him enough to where he thought he had to have some sort of protection.
Searcy police said Jarrod met with the drug dealer and was never seen again.
Another day went by and nothing. Nobody had seen him. We called everybody that we knew.
Days later, family says another person in the drug trade told them they saw Jarrod's car in the Walmart parking lot.
The windows were down, the sunroof was open, the keys were thrown up underneath the front seat, driver's seat floorboard.
Court records show someone initially told police they were offered $1,000 to, quote, get rid of Jarrod. According to the same court document, that same person said the drug dealer and his roommate grabbed Jarrod at Walmart and Jarrod had been, quote, done away with.
And we knew that he did not walk away from that car himself.
Investigators say 10 months after that, the dealer's roommate started bragging about being involved in Jarrod's disappearance.
Shortly, sometime after Jarrod went missing, this other person went missing as well.
Witness testimony described in court documents claimed the dealer later told the person he, quote, took care of it. The roommate was never seen again.
And that's suspicious to you?
Of course, yeah.
6 years later, investigators reported that a close friend of both Jarrod and the dealer killed himself, but not before telling his pastor that he knew about 2 separate murders.
We know that he had information about what happened to Jarrod, and he took his own life rather than share that information.
This all led to a warrant for the dealer's arrest for capital murder in 2017. But ultimately, prosecutors dropped the case. This happened after the source who said they heard the dealer's threats took it back, saying he lied. 2 other key factors: there was still no murder weapon and no body.
There was some evidence that was supposed to be there that didn't end up coming up.
Police would only get one chance to try this case, and the state wanted more time to find undeniable proof. They wanted to find Jarrod's body.
Finding his remains will corroborate what we're being told by witnesses.
Now, in 2023, they say they're getting close. The family and Searcy police are bringing in teams from out of state that specialize in this type of search.
There are 4 locations that the search teams will look at. It really gave us hope for the first time that we could find him.
But the details of where they'll look can't be shared just yet.
We don't want the suspect sitting there at his house watching Channel 11 while we're doing this story and say, oh, well, I didn't think about that. Maybe I need to go cover that up.
The Green family's love for Jarrod, keeping the search for justice alive.
Her perseverance behind looking for Jarrod and finding Jarrod and are his remains is kind of giving us a little life too as well, seeing that from her.
Hoping that someone will open up to close this case.
We're not looking to charge anybody with any drug crimes, but we know that there's at least one person out there that can give us exactly what we need to get Jarrod back to his family.
He was a human being, a much loved human being. And I just really, as a mother, need his remains. It's a horrible thing not to be able to bury your child.
Holding on to hope that after 28 years, they'll bring Jarrod home soon.
Every single day we think about him, every single day, and hope that today's gonna be the day. Today's gonna be the day we're gonna find him.
Just grew up with my whole life being a lie. You know, I was never really told. It was always a secret.
Erica Killian's life has revolved around a mystery. It started as a baby, 3 months old. Years go by with no idea she had been adopted, until one day as a teenager when she started questioning life, seemingly not fitting in with her family, who were actually her grandparents.
I would look, and when they would leave, I would go in nightstand drawers and search for pictures and be like, who is this lady?
That lady, Anita Shells, Erica's mother, she never knew. She looked just like her. That's when she began to learn about her mother's story.
It wasn't until my adult, until I was able to make decisions on my own that I was able to say, okay, now I'm going down to the police department. Now I'm going after the cold case file. Now I want to reach out. Now I want, speak out.
Those files unraveled her mother's fate. A dreary January night in East Little Rock, Anita was brutally attacked at a house party. Her throat slit and left to die in the streets.
She crawled for miles and miles trying to get help, knocking on people's doors.
Anita later died at a hospital. The investigation started. Who killed Erica's mother? Little Rock police say they ended up arresting and charging a man by the name of Leroy Harris. However, days before he was scheduled for trial, the prosecution team dismissed the case.
From my understanding from detectives, it was just basically too many people told too many stories, too many people were scared, too many people skipped town.
Harris, the suspect, was set free, never convicted, and police tell me not long after that, he died.
Basically, he's saying at this point it could, is a closed case because
they feel like it really is him.
Yeah.
Although police say Erica's mother's case is considered closed, she still seeks justice, as all she has left to remember of her mother is the case files, haunting photos from the crime scene, and chilling details of what happened.
That was a cold, vicious night, and she laid out there through the rain, stabbed up, bloody. I mean, it was vicious.
What do you want of them right now?
Like closure, like whether he's still alive, his name is still, tarnished. Like, you are a murderer. Whether you're alive or dead, you don't just get away with it. Justice for me is held within the court of law, for the law to say that this man committed this heinous act, whether he's alive, he's dead.
Erica remains hopeful that the case files will be dusted off and re-examined again.
So here was the blood in the streets.
She wonders if detectives have access to DNA swabs from the crime scene, and if they do, she hopes one day those could give her answers.
It's not a solved case, and her murder should be at least solved.